This morning, I woke up and I was incredibly tired. I slept for a long time. I had a rest day yesterday, but I was just really tired. And actually, I decided to, okay, I am tired. That's a fact. Now, am I gonna tackle this I am tired by trying to not be tired, or am I gonna focus on what I can control instead? And for example, I am tired. Yeah, I can do better, like maybe eat a little bit better today and still sleep good and do stuff so that have more energy tomorrow. But for this right now, I am tired and I can't really change the fact that my mind and my body is tired. However, I can do the best with that. And what I can focus on, I can get moving. I can start moving, go through my session and getting moving. Probably I'll stop being as tired because I will wake up a little bit. And I can also put on some good music that's a little bit hyping to get the energy that I do have somewhere within me, get it flowing. And I also thought to myself, to be completely honest, I have the choice of quitting. I have the choice of taking a rest day. I have the choice of going into this, either not doing the session this morning or go do the session later today because I'm tired right now and I don't feel like it right now. I also have the choice to go into the session, like skip the rehab mobility, that's boring, and go to the session and go really easy and just get it done in like 40 minutes and get out and skip like maybe my accessories or anything. I have the choice of doing that. Now, with having the choice and actually telling myself I have the choice of doing that, I can also then start considering what is the benefit of doing the session and pushing the session just as heavy as it's supposed to be in the program, doing my rehab, doing my warm-ups correctly, doing all the sets with full focus, doing my backups, doing my accessories. What's the benefits of that versus the benefits or actually the consequences of not doing it? And reminding myself like I have a choice. So I am tired today and maybe I don't feel like doing my session, but I have the choice of doing it. It's not anyone forcing me. That gives me a sense of control and that actually kind of improves my performance a bit because it is my choice. And because the consequences of not doing the sessions, it's honestly the benefits of doing the session, even though I'm tired and don't really feel like it, definitely for sure outweighs the consequences. For example, I have a competition. Why do I compete? I don't have to compete. I just love competing. It's something I want to do. I like pushing myself and seeing my limits. I like trying to become better. I like being in a situation where I basically get the feeling that I can become good at whatever I set my mind to. That maybe this is something I'm meant to be. I like that. So, let's say I don't do the session. Well, I'm gonna lose one of the primary sessions, and we are, 2.5 weeks out from competition, or is it 3 weeks? 2.5 weeks out from competition. I won't be peaked as well. Also, not only do I got nationals, but after that, I got worlds, my first open worlds. I'm not hyping for open worlds, but the training I do now greatly does affect worlds. I need to accumulate fatigue. I need to train and accumulate fatigue to peak well and do well. And if I skip this, I'm probably gonna feel better tomorrow because I got a rest day, but at the same time, I will regret myself and I will miss out a lot of training on technique. And even if I just went lighter today, because I'm a little bit tired, I don't have to max out and go to my max, but I have to go with what's there today through the RPE. And it's just just thinking like that, whenever you feel tired, whenever you feel like you don't want to do something, actually, instead of just saying, no, I have to do it, I'm forced to do it, I need to do it, and go in that mindset, instead actually consider you do have the option to quit. Because when you feel like you have a choice in the matter, you actually usually perform better. Because then instead of going into the session, I have to do this, I have to do this. Because even if, yes, maybe for the goal that you have to do it. However, you don't actually have to do it. No one said that you have to have that goal. So if you can go into considering, I can quit, then however you consider the benefits and the consequences of doing that and what outweighs and what matters to you, then you will actually go into a session of feeling more positive and more energized, because you're going to go in there, I have the choice to be here. This is my choice. I'm doing this because I want to. And that's something that is empowering. That's a mindset that's going to give you more power within, because you're realizing that you choose to do this and no one is forcing you. And that's a very, very important matter. And that's my mindset going into this session. It is Monday. We got primary squats. We got a single, I think it's RPE 78, so kind of heavy, not gonna go crazy, because it's not supposed to be a crazy heavy weight. However, I am gonna push to my limits within the RPE. I'm gonna do my absolute best this session to see what's there for the day. I'm not gonna go crazy pushing hyperintention or anything, but I'm also not gonna go light or anything because I'm tired. To be honest though, I was tired this morning. I'm starting to not be as tired because I'm starting to wake up. I'm starting to realize this is my choice. I wanna be here. I put on some music, I did my re-up, did my warm-up, and just like I thought, I woke up. And that's usually the thing, you can be tired before, but when you actually get into a session, you get into things, your energy is gonna shoot up. So remember that. Now let's get going. I used to 100 kilos. I'm gonna go 120 kilos next, and we'll build up and see where we end up today. That was 170 kilos, and I screamed. I rarely scream. Like, the only time when I scream when I squat is like when I hit a PR and I get like crazy happy and I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, that's why like I kind of scream sometimes, but this time also like kind of scream. And it was like looking at the video over and over, and also feeling like how I'm feeling after. I don't feel in my body like it was a heavy weight. However, I still like screamed because it was harder than I expected. And that may cause, okay, don't go heavier. I am going 5 kilos heavier though. And maybe a mistake, but I think it's the smart move, because the reason why I screamed, looking at the video and like how it felt, like if I had just been patient and expected that, I wouldn't have screamed and been like, oh, that was good. And the thing is, I started hyping a little bit too much. I do that sometimes. And I like took my ammonia, went really harsh into it, like really breathed in, and I didn't have time to think about the control or how I went down. So when I got in the hole, it like, whoa, that was heavy, because I kind of expected it to fly. Like in my mind, my expectation was that it was gonna be a flying weight. I would like come down and it would just shoot up, and I would be like crazy strong for like 180 plus today and being like peak shape. And why I had that, and it's not wrong to believe these kind of things, but that caused my expectations. So the actual demands of the weight, my expectations was that like the demands of the weight on my back right now would be crazy little, like it would be so easy and fly, that it got like kind of a shock to me with how heavy it was. And this has happened in the past. So in the next one, I'm still gonna take my ammonia and like get a little bit focused, but I'm gonna be very calm. I'm gonna take one step at a time and not stress and just sit down and stand up, because that's when my best squats happen. And I think that why it like got to the point where I like kind of screamed, it's just because my expectations was that it was gonna crazy fly. And the thing is, I'm supposed to go to an RP 78 today, and that's not a weight that's gonna fly. That's a weight that's gonna be challenging. It's not gonna be like max weight. And for me, max weight is when my knees cave into like a maximum and my elbows go here, and I'm like, ee! I can still grind, but it's like, ee! That's a like max squat for me. RP8 is when that happens to an extent, but where I feel like I can, it's kind of controlled. I can actually do a lot of reps with like my knees caving and me being like here. And some reason now I expected my squat to be like crazy easy and flying, and that's actually not how I squat. And that expectation kind of ruined it a little bit. And this is the thing when you're training as well, that sometimes if your expectation is this is gonna be easy, this is gonna fly, this is gonna be crazy good, and then the actual demands doesn't add up to that, like the actual demands are it's gonna be hard. If you go in with that mindset, it's gonna become so much of a shock that it's gonna be like, oh shit, I'm weak. You're gonna start doubting yourself. That's the moment when you may wanna quit and stuff. But if you can have like the demand, go in with the mindset, okay, this is gonna be slow. This is gonna be hard, and this is gonna challenge me. This is not gonna feel good. Then what's gonna happen is you're gonna go in and you're gonna get that feeling, but you're gonna be okay with it and get out with confidence. Now, the thing is, you can also not go in with the mindset that it's supposed to be max hard, like crazy hard. Because if the demands are like in the middle, let's say the demands are a 2. Max would be like ultimate max super hard would be a 3, crazy easy would be a 1, but the actual demands are 1 or 2. And then your expectation is, for example, that it's gonna be a 1. Then what's gonna happen is performance is gonna be bad. You're gonna be shocked. Not good. And also though, if your expectation is that it's gonna be a 3 hard, but actual demands is 2, that also isn't not gonna work, because you're gonna go in with like, oh, what's the point? I'm gonna do it, but you're not gonna be like focused and expect like happy for it. If the demands is a 3 and you think it's a 3, that's a good thing. You want to get better at aligning your expectation with the actual demands. That's when you get the best performance, because that's when you can stay the most focused and like handle the stressful situation the best, because you can be calm, you can be present, and you can like tackle it and with a feeling. And I was completely not present because I just wanted to make it easy. I thought it would be easy, and that's why like I kind of just screamed on the way up, because I got like a shock. I was like, what? I thought it would be easy, and first I was like, oh shit, I'm weak. But that's not the case. So this one, it's not gonna be a RP 10 max set. It's not gonna be that hard. It's not gonna be a 3 in the demands. However, definitely gonna be a 2. It's going to be tough. I cannot go in and expect it to fly and be crazy easy. It is, and I can also, this is the thing, if I go in thinking, oh, it's gonna be hard, but in the back of my mind, I say these things to make it easy, not gonna work either. Like, you really have to be okay. It is gonna be hard. I don't expect it in any way, honestly, to feel easy. It's going to be challenging. Now, the thing is though, with my squat, I can grind a lot. So even if it's challenging, I usually can do more. That's a fact. So I'm gonna do this way. It's going to be hard. It's not gonna be a max effort hard. It's gonna be hard though, and I don't expect it to go easy or fluid. I expect it to be a little bit cracky, but manageable, if that makes sense. It's gonna be a little bit cracky and stuff on the way up, and in the bottom, it's gonna feel like the weight is really pushing down on me, but it's gonna be manageable. And that's a good like heartbeat for me. So I think it's 5 minutes are up for my rest period. So I'm actually gonna get going and do 175 kilos, so just 5 kilos more, which is actually a kind of weight that I expect. I didn't have a plan today, but I kind of like in the back of my head hope for this weight. So we're gonna see how it moves, but I'm gonna be present for most of all. Like, I'm gonna be present and like kind of feel the weight instead of like trying to make it hard, trying to make it in any kind of way. I'm gonna do what I normally do, squat the way I normally squat. My squat is good, my technique is good. So I'm just gonna do what I normally do and be present, and then I'll handle the weight accordingly. Not trying to make it hard or anything, just be present and accept reality of how it feels on my back when I lift the bar out. And I'm not gonna go into a space where, oh, this is too heavy, la la la, and go to that point. I'm also not gonna go to a point, oh, this will be easy. I'm just gonna be calm and present and grounded in reality. So let's go. 175. It was hard, but it was manageable. Maybe a little bit too heavy. You can see in the bottom, it was like really hacky, and I kind of didn't expect my knees to fall in so much as they did. So that was still, even though I was better at grounding myself in reality and matching the demands to the situation, there was still a little bit like I was not prepared for that, and that may have been my ability to actually assess like RP and the weight. Either way, I'm happy with it. I did what I could with it. It was decent. And then I did a 5 at 150 right after, or 5 minutes after. As you saw, I accidentally loaded like 200 on one side and 150 on one side, like not the bar, but you know, like if 3 reds and a yellow, that's 200. That's what I had for one side, and then the other side I just forgot to remove a 25, so a 25 kilo plate on one side, and I just put on the 15 kilo plate for 150. I don't know why, but so the lift I was like really whoa, because you know there was such a difference. And then I just unloaded, and this is gonna sound picky or whatever, I don't know any word for that, but either way, I was like, my wrist wraps were a little bit hard, and I had to have them on like while I unloaded, and I wanted to do it directly and not go and sit down and rest again. So I just did it, and the lift off, the weight on my back felt a little bit because of the other lift off. It was a little bit unbalanced, like due to the lift off with 2 on one side. So that made the set feel a little bit harder or heavier on my back. Rep-wise, body-wise, like movement-wise, very good. Some 1 rep, or if I think it was 1 rep, was not to depth. So this set I think is gonna be better because I got an opportunity to rest, and also I will be lifting off the right weight and will be misloaded on one side. And so I got 4 sets of 5s. So this was the first one, so I got 3 to go. I hope I can be at 150 on all of those, and I'm gonna be pretty happy with that. So yeah, I've changed the timer, but I think it's probably running out any second now. So I'm drinking some orange juice, and let's get going. Okay, now you're probably wondering what the heck I am doing. However, what it is I'm switching belt buckle. And that's because this is the old A7 belt buckle. This is the new one. And the new one I got here is really good because you got 3mm increments. So for example, if you're bloated, which I do get on a competition meet, for example, when I'm in water cutting and I have to do my recomp, I drink a lot of water, I get bloated, and you know, sometimes, so you can change like the belt buckle. However, what I noticed is the biggest thing for me in squats is, out of the whole, especially when it gets heavy, I am the strongest when I stand on the inside of my feet and I intentionally cane my knees. Now, not like cane crazy wise, but I stand on the inside of my feet in inward rotation. I'm way stronger that way in the squat. However, sometimes when I do that, what happens that I don't like, however, is the knee buckle, it really scratches up my leg. So for example, in 175, where I always get, when my knee caves, that's a good thing. But recently I don't want my knees to cave just because of the pain that comes. And when I did change, I put something on the buckle, on the side of the buckle, so that it's soft. I can squat and it gets 10 times easier. Not because of the weight getting easier, but just because I can squat the way I want to squat. And I realized this belt buckle is just way longer. For me, this just happens because I'm very short and I want my belt as low as possible. So this belt buckle, however, is shorter. I don't remember having this issue with this belt buckle. So I am actually gonna try to, just change belt buckle and see how that feels. Now, issue is gonna be which hole I made. I think I'm bigger now than I was before in my tummy because I built a lot of muscle. I've been gaining weight. So I'm gonna try this and we'll see how it goes. I hope these screws work because I don't have the screws. I don't know where the screws specifically for my belt buckle is, but I was thinking probably it's the same. Now this is the only issue with like this belt is that you have to like screw it. But I think it works. This screw works. Okay. So yeah, my wrist period is up in just a few seconds. I need to be fast. This is just the last set I got of squats. I'm gonna see how it works. And the only thing is like bloatedness and stuff, how that's gonna work. But like I managed doing water cuts with this belt in the past. So I mean, like, why shouldn't I actually be able to do it now? Like that's probably just a mindset thing. You know, you can always go and pee and stuff. So also I won't be as bloated because I've been having to cut weight. Alright. Got it. Now wrist period is up, so let's do the last set. Let's see. This turned out good. Probably could have had it and all. I'm not rushing. But I'm gonna try it with this and then I can maybe like buckle it in one more hole if I need to. But let's start here. Get going. Where are my wristbands? See you in the video. The belt buckle worked amazing. Didn't scratch or always. Could feel like this a little bit on my thigh, but that's just because I'm sore on my thigh because the other buckle had digged in so much, so I got a bruise here and now it's a little bit sore, but it worked really well. One thing though, I definitely took it too low, like it's too loose, so I'm used to having it a little bit tighter, so I'll have to screw it in once, but way better. It's both shorter and also there's not, like the other types are like out here. This one is smaller, so felt way better. So back to this one, and I think I actually solved the problem of the bottom part of my squat, feeling like shit. My computer died, I don't have any music, but I'm done with squats. So now I get leg extensions, 4 sets of 10s. So let's get going with that. But I'm super happy that this worked. Now I'm gonna be able to grind in the squat again. And when I can grind, because that's why on 175, why you saw it be like why it went like that from the bottom is basically just because when I go here and I go up, my initiation is knees inside of the foot. I'm way stronger here. Depth is also easier. In this position, out, I am not as strong. It's more glutes, but I am actually weaker here. So yes, long term I could train that, obviously, but I am stronger here. That's what allowed me to actually, when I realized I should actually stand on the inside of my feet, that's when I was allowing myself to like increase really fast. And maybe like, I increased my squat like 35 kilos this year, in 1 year, and previously I've been stuck, and my squat was my nemesis, because I realized this is my strong position, and I can keep control and everything in it. But now it gets hacky because I start feeling like, and then, you know, I want to give in to get up, but at the same time, it hurts, so I don't. And I can obviously go against that pain, but I think it's enough pain that the weight is heavy and everything. And it's like all of a sudden, the next set, all I'm thinking about is about the belt buckle and how that's gonna feel. And I start pushing my knees out when I'm not strong in that position. Not good, but I'm happy this worked. So, leg extensions, my camera's gonna die soon, so I'll be fast. Today in this session, I did 4 sets of 1 leg extension, 10 reps, and this was the last set that I showed you. It may look like, okay, you could go heavier maybe, but as you can see, it's harder. This leg extension machine is a little bit harder to go to the top, like full extension where you go like here, and just because of how it's built, because it's not like a cable where you put in, it's free weights, but it's a cheaper version because of that as well. This one is from Yum company that everything in this gym is from, but so it's really good. But so the extension isn't as far. So the heavier I go, the less, like it's gonna feel the same, but I can't extend as much. Either way, they feel good. And yeah, I'm super happy today about the belt buckle. Like I can see a future because my squat has been, like I increased 35 kilos. In November, I did 195 kilos in the squat, and I think the month after that, I managed to do 190 kilos again at the last end of the block, but I failed 200. And then since then, I haven't actually like been able to even go up at like 190. I did it once. I was supposed to do a double, but I only managed one. But I did 190. But I haven't been up to that weight again. But that's the thing is like. I think like it's not only because of the belt buckle, obviously, because I had the other belt buckle before when I did 185 and 190, but it's like on reps, when I am 100%, I am not affected by it. I don't really feel it. I think that's because when I'm 100%, I'm even more upright in a sense, and when I am like powerful and strong 100%, but when I'm not 100%, I am gonna be a little bit more forward leaning, I think, especially when I do reps and higher reps. So whenever I had like 8s, I would have to stop at a weight that was like almost too easy, just because like the belt buckle would bother me so much. I remember like 3 months ago when I had like 8s and I would go like the last reps and start screaming because I got so mad because the weight in itself wasn't hard, but like it was so hard because of the belt buckle digging in. And you know, since it didn't affect me on my top sets, I was always thinking like, okay, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just in your head, deal with it, whatever. And now it's been occurring over and over, and I kind of realized that maybe on the sessions when I am not 100%, that is actually stopping me just a little bit. And so it's a small thing, but now I've managed to improve it. And I was thinking I could always have the old belt buckle as well, and have something on the side to make it softer. But again, I can only do that in training. And if I get to the competition, and hopefully I'll be 100% in the competition. I'm gonna do my very best and follow Joey's plan. And previously with Joey, I've always been good on meet days, but that's the thing, I don't really know. And the belt buckle never affects me on the previous weights. And previously, before I went to 190, I didn't fold my knees as much, or not fold my knees, but stand on the inside of my feet. And if I push out my knees, I'm not gonna be as affected, or if I sit back more, and that's how I squatted on the previous meets when I had that belt buckle and it didn't affect me on meet day, but I am wondering if maybe it does affect, maybe affect, because when I did 195, I could feel it. I was just strong, so it didn't matter. And that's just the thing, if I can not be affected by it, shouldn't I do so? So that's what I'm thinking. And hopefully this will just make the regular everyday squat sessions feel a little bit better, so that I can just focus on squatting and not focus on like a belt buckle, because it's a stupid thing and it's not one of those things that really matters. But if it bothers you over and over and you can't change it, like why not do it, especially if like it's a small thing. It would be another thing if it was just like a technique thing, then I would have to train it. But either way, I'm very happy about that and that it worked. I've been thinking about it for a long time, but just haven't gotten my thumb out of my ass to do it. But now I did it and I'm happy I did so and that it worked. So yeah, I'm stoked about that. Squats went well today. I wanted them to go better, but I did good weights and I just gotta eat up. I also did add a secondary deadlift. You maybe saw on my Instagram on this Saturday, and every time before when I've added another secondary deadlift day, first of all, on those times when we've added it, I've been dieting and cutting weight, and because of that, probably a combination of being on a deficit in calories and also having the issue with my injuries and just adding a deadlift session after squats, I would always be having a lot of pain and it would aggravate, and then I would start having pain every session of the week. And now I added it and I think that could have accumulated a little bit of fatigue today, but I didn't get any pain from doing it. We added it on a Saturday on a bench session instead of the squat session, and I'm also not in a deficit at the moment, so that helps. But I'm happy to do that. That's probably going to accumulate a little bit more fatigue, but that's good. I'm supposed to start getting fatigued and stuff. The weights are supposed to go up, but I'm also supposed to feel tired and fatigued because meet is coming up. And I'm excited. I hope you got something from the beginning with the mindset that it's your choice to be here. It's your choice to do these things. So to be honest, you shouldn't complain. Or we shouldn't complain. Me too. I sometimes find myself doing that, complaining about this or that, I'm dieting, or the belt buckle, whatever, but I'm choosing to be here. I can control what I can control, try to focus on that. It's better to give yourself a choice. You have a choice, so just, if you don't feel like you have a choice, present the choice to yourself. You may not want to do the other thing, like I don't want to quit, but I have the choice to do so. I don't want to do it though, and I won't do it, but I do have the choice to do so. So that makes it doing this my choice. That makes everything that I do my choice, and it also makes it something to not complain about, but to do and try to be happy because it is something you choose to do for yourself, and hopefully you are doing this journey like I am to get better in yourself and to grow as a person, to become a better person, to become stronger for yourself and not for something else. And hopefully you're doing it for a good reason, and if that's the case, it may be hard, it may be tough, for sure it's gonna be, but do what you can with your situation, focus on what you can control. There is always something you control, even if it's just standing tall and being calm in a stressful situation that you hate. You have to think about the micro for the macro. You can love the macro like powerlifting and training and the results you get from it, but there is always, within the macro that you love, there is always going to be a micro thing you don't like. For example, if you have a job you really love, you may love the job, but you may not like answering emails. But you have to do the micro because you love the macro if you want the macro. And it's the same for training. I love the macro. Sometimes I don't like the micro, like doing my rehab. But I have to do it either way. And that's one thing you have to think about, and it's your choice. Anyway, I hope that was inspirational in a way, and it was a good session. And next time I see it will probably be end of the week or next week, and then we're gonna be 2 weeks out even from nationals, so that's crazy. Time has flied. I started doing these series when we were 80 plus days out, so I'm excited. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in